live. We're set, we're ready. Excellent. Well, thank you guys for joining me on here. Uh, I'm excited to have you here with me. There's some things I want to go over here that I think are going to help you tremendously. We're going to talk about 3 must-answer questions for any leather project. So we're going to start going over those, talk about what these questions are, what they mean to you, how they're going to impact your projects, and how to answer those questions. I've done some stuff to hopefully help you answer these questions and avoid some of the mistakes that can come by skipping over them. So as we're going along tonight, we're going to keep this pretty short. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to address those before we get done here. So drop those in at any time. I'm going to wait, address those at the end, and we'll just get cracking here. So 3 must-answer questions for every leather project. Number 1, what materials do you need? Now, what materials is this? Like leather? What kind of leather? What weight of leather? Hardware? Any tools for that? Finished products? How do you want this finished thing to look? Are we looking at dyes, antiques, resin, any finish on there? What is it that you're going to need to get before you start this project? And again, this is one of those that all these questions, if you address them ahead of time, you're going to avoid a lot of mistakes, a lot of pitfalls, and possibly a lot of money down the road when you have to go back and redo things. So we want to address these before we get into a project. It's like heading out on a road trip. You need to check and see if you have enough gas. Now you don't have to check, you're going to find out eventually, but we want to check that stuff ahead of time. So number 1 question, what materials do we need? And if you're just getting started, it's hard to know these materials. You might not know what you need to get started with. And that's where, if you've been following along with us, we came out with these 2 new courses, and that's directly what this is going to answer, is questions like these. I hear questions all the time about, all sorts of frustrations. I hear questions about what type of leather do I need? What weight do I use? What's good for what project? I can hear frustration in people when they ask these questions, when I'm getting emails and messages and repeatedly from people that are in the same boat, that they're getting started in leatherwork. They've been at it a while even, but they're running into some of these same frustrations. Why does my dye and my antique look weird? Why is it doing this or that? There's some basic fundamentals, and that's what we want to address here. Question number 2, what tools do I need? So what tools are you going to need for this particular project? Because not all projects are going to require the same tools. And there's nothing more frustrating than getting halfway through a project and realizing you don't have what it takes to get it finished. Then it's got to sit on the back burner until you go find another tool, learn what tool it is. You might not even know what it is you need at first. So what tools do I need? We talked in number 1 about hardware and things like that. A lot of times there's specific tools for that hardware. It's not just a matter of getting that piece of hardware in. So we need to look at that. And that's one of the things that we're going to address in Leather Shop Basics course. We're going to talk about all the individual tools, how to use them and where they apply at, some of the basic tools that I think are going to get you going in leatherwork and give you that strong foundation to have the confidence knowing that you have what it takes to build projects that you're going to be proud to gift or proud to sell. I want you to know what tools you need. I want you to know how to use them. I want you to avoid frustrations, save time and money by learning the hard way. That's why I have created these courses. We're going to get you fast-tracked to where you want to go. We're looking at critical skills to build that foundation so that you have that confidence going into a project, not a fear and like, oh my gosh, I'm diving in, so much to learn through this. If we can do some of the learning first, it's going to avoid redoing stuff that you've ruined along the way, or having to buy more materials because we burned through those. That's what we want to avoid. Which leads to the number 3 thing. What skills do I need to finish this project? you know, if we don't understand what it's going to take to do it, you might get into it part way, and simply by missing one skill, not knowing how to skive leather, you're going to be trying to fold something that's way too thick. You're going to run into trouble with snaps. You're going to run into trouble with hardware, with splitting things out. There's lots of specifics on that by knowing the right skills, understanding them, having a grasp on those, and then learning what order to put those skills in, it's going to make a huge difference. My goal is to help leather grafters love this craft and excel at it. And that's why we've come up with this course. I find people that get into leather work for a short period of time, they try it out, and due to frustration, they quit. And I hate seeing that. People tell me this is a dying art, leatherwork's a dying art, and I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. I think there's so many people that love it and are getting into it, but I think there's been a lack of good, concise information, and that's why we've created this course. Is I want one spot for you to come, learn the skills you need, learn the tools you need, and don't just go out buying a bunch of random tools because you think you need them. I see a lot of wasted money of people buying tools because they saw somebody use it on a YouTube or an Instagram or whatever else. That might not be a tool or a skill you even need to do what you want to do. So I had somebody ask just the other day on these two new courses that we're doing. It's the Leather Shop Basics bundle, right? So there's two courses that we're putting in there. The Leather Shop Basics, and that's where we talk about these skills and the tools and give you that foundation that you need. But then also my first 5 leather projects, where we're gonna walk through these foundation projects, kind of gateway projects, I think of them as: belt, purse, wallet, knife sheath, a journal cover. When we understand the skills to build that project, it's gonna let you build other projects that are similar. It gives you those skills so you start learning the order and construction, so you don't back yourself into a corner and have to tear things apart, redo them, or get to a point that you can't redo where it's at and it's a start over. So we're wanting to avoid that stuff. And the fact that these courses are in one spot is, I believe, invaluable. There's so much information on the internet, so much information on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and wherever else. Obviously, I love the information that's out here on YouTube. I put out a ton of it for you. But there's value in learning the right things in the correct order. And instead of wandering aimlessly through a search engine, not knowing what you don't know, not knowing what to search for, and just picking up random skills here and there, we consolidated everything into one spot to give you a firm foundation to build on. And that's where we're at. Somebody asked me about these courses, said, well, what tools do I need to get started with before I start these? I recommend none. If you don't have any tools yet and you're just getting started, you are in the perfect place for these courses. And I say don't buy a thing before you go through and watch them. You'll learn about these different tools and you can make your own decision on whether this tool or this tool is right for you and applies to what you want to make. You might not even need certain tools because you're wanting to do something different with your leather work. So I highly recommend watching through first. I don't want you to go spend a bunch of money you don't need. That's the whole idea behind these courses, to avoid having to do that. Now, if you've already started leather work and you're on the road to it, you have some tools, you're gathering them up, then this is a way to go back and learn. Make sure you are getting the most out of those tools, learning where to apply them at, and really firm up that foundation of those skills. Because anything that we're going to build up, if we don't have a strong foundation, it gets a little weak the higher we go. So the more you can firm up those skills, the better we can avoid mistakes and things down the road that are going to cost you time and money, both of them. So I can't express enough how excited I am to bring these courses to you. Remember, we do just have one day left tomorrow. But this bundle deal is going to go away. Now, the courses themselves, those are going to stay. once you get access to these courses, you walk through them as many times as you want, watch at your own pace, as many times to master those skills. But the bundle deal with the savings, you're gonna save $199. You're gonna get into a drawing to come to a 3-day one-on-one workshop with me in the shop, catered to you and fit your needs. You're gonna get access to an exclusive tooling video that I've done, training, and you're gonna get all 3 of my pattern books. So there's lots of bonuses that are added into this bundle deal, and I want you to be able to take advantage of those. So don't miss out on getting into that by tomorrow. But whether you decide these courses are for you or not, ask yourself these 3 questions before you get into any project. What materials do I need for it? What are the tools I'm gonna need? And what skills do I need, and what order am I gonna put those in? And be able to answer these questions with confidence for every project that you're doing before you get started. That's gonna save you so much time down the road and missteps that are gonna frustrate you to no end. So I'm excited to be on your leathercraft journey with you. I'm excited to help you help grow the industry. And if you're new to the industry, welcome. I love seeing new people in here. I love people that have a passion for what they're doing and want to learn and want to grow in this. So that's if that's you, if you're wanting to learn and grow with your leather work, you are who we design these for. This is the course for you. So if you've gotten to a point that you're done learning, you got it mastered, these aren't for you, and I'm okay with that. But if you still want to grow and build and be the best crafter you can be, that's where we're going to go with this. So we're going to take just a sec. I'm going to check and see if we have any questions before I close out of here. And I think we got maybe a little technical thing. I'm not sure that we're seeing any questions. So if I'm going to post this so it stays up live, be sure to hit any questions in the comments there, and love to get those answered for you as we move on. But appreciate you guys being with us, and we'll see you next time on the next video here.